take projection.
Welcome everybody to Taking on Sports. I am TV. That is Greg. Greg, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good, man. We got a world champion now.
No.
Spain wins their second ever World Cup in really dominant fashion, even though it took extra time and it was only a 1-0 win.
Could have been 4 5.
Yeah, exactly. Easily, yeah, it could have been 3, 4, 5-0. Just a maybe, like I said, dominant's the only word you can really use, and it never really felt like Argentina was. Even with their penchant for late magic this tournament, it just, you never got that sense. Like, if sure it was possible, but it was never really like, I don't know, something like in that Egypt game or, the England game, it's just like the pressure kept building. You're like, oh, they're going to score. Like,
You just had those ones. You just had a feeling. You just kept watching because you knew something was going to happen.
yeah.
Yesterday, the magic just ran out.
Yeah. But
sometimes it happens. I mean, still, overall, Spain is a better team, and it showed yesterday.
Yeah, they really proved to be the best team in the tournament. They didn't just get hot and win it. They, best defense by far.
They shut out France. I mean, that's impressive in itself.
And dominated France too. Maybe even more so than they did Argentina. Yeah. It was funny too, thinking, they had, of course, the draw with Cape Verde to start it, and everyone, and they didn't look great in the group stage, and it was like, I don't know, Spain might be gettable here, and I laugh at myself now because even thinking after the group stage, like being like, man, like I think the US yes, I think we can get them. I think we can get them.
I had that thought. We got smoked.
It's like, I think we can sneak to the semis, and then Belgium.
If we had got there, we would have got annihilated.
It would have been just the same like this. It would have been, maybe our defense would have held up, probably not, but it probably would have been more like 2-3. But 2-3, 4-0, and just we wouldn't have been able to generate anything. But Spain, worthy champion, like I said, second ever. They now are on a similar run as their like all-time best international team, the 08 through 12, when they won a Euro, the World Cup, and then Euro again, went on like that 40, 50 some game unbeaten streak, like a 20 or 30 something, like just straight winning streak that was ended by the US of all teams. But they are the reigning European champions. They're the reigning World Cup champions. They're the reigning Women's World Cup champions. First time one country's ever held both of them at the same time. And deservedly so.
Absolutely.
Got there, like you said, dominated France in the semis. Argentina, another late win. Magic against England, who, I mean, Thomas Tuchel, he does not need to come back for England. He was already a divisive character, but you cannot play the way he did for like the last 30 minutes of the game. Just, you sit so far back, you just let Argentina barrage your goal, and you knew eventually it was going to come in. And
it was going to go eventually.
Yeah, by that time it was too late. Just terrible manager job, terrible tactics for England, and shame because you saw what they're capable of. And that third place game was wild as hell.
Wow, crazy.
6-4 win over France. They went up 4-0 in the first half. Got a Bukayo Saka hat trick, which makes you wonder where was he on Wednesday in the semifinal.
Where was that at?
Well, where was he? He didn't even see the field. Tuchel never put him in. You just don't know what the hell they were doing there. But like we said, Spain, worthy champion, a fun, just an absolutely great tournament overall. The expansion was a success. They're talking about going to 64. That might be a bit too much. But
I mean, I get it, but why? Why?
Yeah, we know why, but
it's obviously money in there, but still, let's see how.
I think what I'd rather see them do is I'd rather FIFA make a bigger deal. I know they don't run it technically, the other, the individual associations and regional what I'm trying to think of groups, whatever confederations. That's the word. Uh, they all run their own qualification, but I think instead of just expanding, like put more emphasis in the qualification, should get better TV deals for it, show it, play up the importance of it, because
Yeah,
you say it's about, including more teams. I mean, every single team in the world has a shot to get to the World Cup, man. Like
right.
you start in qualification. Technically, it's part of the tournament qualification, That's why they call it the World Cup final when they talk about the whole tournament itself.
Exactly. But that's like,
Mhm.
but when you keep expanding, then every time someone's going to be, well, let's go to this or
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Someone's
Like,
got to cut it off
where does it stop? Yeah, yeah. So
because
yeah, just
it should
yeah.
still feel special that you made a World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want it to feel special, and I think 48.
I think
I was skeptical at first, but I think it worked out in the end.
I think 48 was cool because we saw people that never been to the World Cup before and the
Yeah.
excitement that they had getting to the World Cup,
Well,
and
yeah,
that was cool.
and it does open up spots for something like Norway, where a team that normally wouldn't make a 32, and you don't get to see one of the world's biggest stars in Aaron Holland, who became an even bigger star this tournament. He
Right,
made fans worldwide.
right,
Um, but he a lot of times, I mean, look at a guy like Zlatan. He didn't play in too many World Cups with Sweden.
true.
You see that a lot. You see it with African stars sometimes, and now this opens it up a little bit more. So I think that is a good thing. And but yeah, like you said, like where does it? You gotta put a cap on it somewhere. And I
Yeah,
think the
'cause,
way to do that is help as FIFA, help the individual confederations, help UEFA, CONCACAF, all them, get better TV deals for their qualification. Like, get people more excited into it. You think if you're rooting for Cape Verde in the World Cup, root for San Marino and European qualification, a team that went like 10 years without winning a game.
right, very
So
true.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
overall, a great tournament.
fantastic tournament.
Yeah. Hiccups here and there, of course, as always. Hydration break wasn't a winner. Obvious cash grab. Um, Obviously, a lot of people introduced to the frustrations of VAR, but as I've said before, my stance is that it's more about the rules and the implementation than it is VAR. VAR does a lot of good things.
It does.
I mean, as a U.S. fan, I can point to the 2002
Oh,
quarterfinal match against Germany. A
mm,
blatant handball that cost us a goal,
no,
and a game we lost 1-0. So with
no.
VAR, that's we see the handball and we get a penalty shot. So.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, thinking back, man, I remember waking up just ass early for that one because it was the Japan South Korea one. And I remember that Mexico game specifically. Me and my friends were all at the beach, and me and my buddy Joe woke up early to
Oh,
catch it like 3 in the morning or something crazy.
I was like 3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think we had a chance. We were just going. I'm like, dude, are we
Mhm.
gonna pull this off? And he's just watching. Thinking, is this our chance? Is this our time?
Yeah. But that's it. Like I said, from Spain, very deserved champion. 2 years from now, they'll go try to defend their European title. For Argentina, it's the end of an era. Messi's maybe he could be done. He could come back. You never know. But
Sounds like it's his last.
yeah, and it does feel like it's time. If you're Argentina, you look at Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo and you go, we don't want that. We don't want to be just catering to our star, even as legendary as he is, at
Right.
the expense of the team. And
To help the team. Yeah.
yeah, so I think you focus on reinventing yourself, and you got obviously it's Argentina. You're always going to have plenty of talent. You got a guy like
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez who can score goals. So
The talent's there, but yeah, it's good.
yeah,
But really, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you got, it's crazy. Just the end of the year for a lot of people. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
Ronaldo and Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi and the Brazilian.
Neymar.
I mean, that's three huge names.
Yeah, and
Going
then who knows who
on.
else? Zlatan is not coming back to the announce desk. He said.
But then on top of that, I mean, we got so many young stars that are going to step into those
Yeah,
roles. So
exactly. Yeah, Lamine Yamal, obviously there for the champions in Spain.
absolutely,
Young, young U.S. stars that you're excited about. Balogun.
absolutely. Holland obviously took over the came and took over with his personality. Of course, we Mbappe, everybody knows about him, but he's still a young
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. But Jude
Yeah,
Bellingham for England. He really burst on the scene. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but it was a fun tournament, a good time. It's sad to see it go, of course, as always. 4 more years, but we get the women's next year, right? And is it next year?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm blanking on my memory. And of course, like we said, we always have qualification, the Euros to look forward to, the Gold Cup. So plenty of international soccer still out there if you've been hooked, if you're newly hooked to international soccer. And of course, club soccer is always great. It's all over TV.
That's the thing that everybody.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about it. The best leagues have TV deals. I mean, you have a way to watch it, whether it be on NBC or
Mhm.
Peacock.
Paramount, yeah. And if you really really gotten into the game itself and you just want to see the at its highest level, it's actually probably something like the Champions League.
Yeah,
That's where the best leagues in the world are. That's the best teams from those leagues, and
absolutely.
these are guys. They're the teams that get to play year round with each other for the most part, as opposed to international. Where you get 2 weeks at a time here and there. Most years. So, but yeah. Other than that, let's see. That's all I got for the World Cup. Like I said, sad to see it go, but it was a really good one.
It
Yeah.
actually went way. I don't know. It was. I thought it was gonna be way more issues than what it was,
hmm
just because of our issues in the U.S.
Yeah.
But for everything that's going on here, it actually went pretty smooth. I'm sure there was some stuff, but overall, I think it went a lot smoother than what maybe I thought it would.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing and obviously it didn't deter people, but I'm still, man, just to get into that championship game yesterday was ridiculous. I will say that. Like, they got to figure out how to make it a little more obtainable for the regular fans because that's crazy. It was
You
like
talk,
5,000
yeah.
face value for the lower bowl. This is just the face value, not the.
Yeah. Not the second. Yeah. Aftermarket price. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It's just like, man, and that's why I made a post about it, like that's so impressive. People were literally here a month and still some Argentinian, some Spanish fan probably went around the whole thing with their
hmm
team. No telling how much money they spent.
Right. Yeah.
Staying places, your fly over here, fly home, your game tickets. Good God, you probably spent $30,000-$40,000.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely ridiculous, but like everything else in the world, just too damn expensive.
Yeah. But didn't deter people because great crowds everywhere you went.
No, yeah, good atmospheres, great crowds. We look forward to 2030 and all over the place, 6 different host countries. The main hosts are, Spain, Portugal, Morocco, but then it being the 100th, anniversary of the first World Cup, got special games in Uruguay, Argentina, and
Paraguay, right?
is it Paraguay? Yeah. Uruguay, of course, the site of the first ever World Cup, or the first champions. I think they hosted too. I'll have to check that now. Used to know that easily.
The other thing that I was wondering, and you know they had the third place game. Would that work in U.S. sports at all? You think? Or
Man, I just don't think so. I just think people
just surprised that
teams
I
too
don't.
much. Just yeah. Um, but yeah, it is interesting. I think they used to have it in certain. Like I think the Final
I
Four
think the
used to have a
Final
third place
Four. Yeah,
game.
I think
Yeah,
way. I
Mhm.
think before my time, but before
And
our time
and
watching. But
college football and the old traditional bowl system kind of basically had third place games like that, but structured so differently that it didn't feel like that.
right,
But yeah, it was crazy. I thought for sure, I was like, man, the way that France being the favorite and crashing out, like they're not going to care. England, another just heartbreaking loss. They're going to be,
and they just
just
and at first,
mentally
yeah,
checked out. Yeah.
didn't see my friends care, but they came alive in the second half. And Mbappe put that team on his back, and he said, "We're not going to go out like
Yeah, did ended up winning the Golden Boot too,
that."
and he's also now the all-time leader in World Cup goals too. It's just insane for a guy as young as he is still.
Right.
Um, but yeah, they
Crazy.
really came out, played hard, put on a show. Probably both sets of fans asking, where the hell was this during the semis?
Right. For
Right.
both teams.
Mhm.
But that what combined one goal.
Yeah. But yeah, this week, we talked about it last week. We're starting our college football previews. And we said this week we're going to do our group of 6 preview. What we do with this, we don't go as in depth as we do with the other conferences. We just don't have the time. Again, if you want that, we'd love to do that, but we need money to do that because we have jobs and stuff. Yeah. But so what we do with the group of 6 is we go to each conference and we just talk about a thing or two that just interest us. It could be a team, a coach, a player, a storyline, just something about the conference that we'd be interested in watching this year. So let's go ahead and start with the American. Greg, I'll let you kick it off. What's the first thing you look at the American? What jumps out at you?
When I look at the American, I just see, we have a lot of new coaches. I mean, a lot of people took jobs.
I had that too.
Memphis has a new coach. Tulane will have a new coach. North Texas will have a new coach. North Texas also got raided. I mean, obviously the whole team went to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So just the transitions of of good teams, and it's so hard sometimes to rebuild. And it's amazing. Tulane did such a good job rebuilding because really I thought they might fall off after the Houston coach. After he went to Houston, I was like, ooh. And Tulane Summerall came in and kept it rolling.
Yeah.
And so can these teams keep going? Memphis has faced this a couple of times and has come out okay with it. But it's always interesting just how these transitions happen.
Mm-hmm.
If they can keep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tulane, Memphis, USF, UAB, sort of to a degree with Mortensen there taking over full time now. He of course took over interim last year, but and those aren't those are top tier teams, top of the conference teams. Really interested, like you said, Tulane. They were after Willie Fritz moved on, they just kept it rolling with John Sumrall. Now he's gone, and Memphis, same thing. Ryan Silverfield off to Arkansas. Yeah, I think I know who went to. So yeah, same thing with me. I had that. I was like, how are they going to? Will Hall in Tulane. How's he going to do? Charles Huff moving up from Southern Miss to Memphis, which I really like that hire for them.
I think that's about as good a hire as you could have gotten right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a phenomenal hire.
Yeah. Brian Hartline at USF taking over for Alex Golish, of course, is on the Plains now.
Which is interesting because, I mean, obviously, he's been a hell of a recruiter at Ohio State. I mean, one of the leading recruiters, wide receiver coach, but 1 year as the OC or something? But
yeah, Ohio State, yeah, right.
It's a big jump that will be going to be the head coach. So
yeah,
doing that. So think Golish took a lot of the people with him from South Florida as well.
Yeah. Um,
So
so yeah, we'll see what then they got a tough schedule this year too, so we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, it's interesting that you get so much upheaval. Small conferences lose coaches all the time, but that's some big ones, three particularly big ones.
yeah,
Um, and now the other note
all at
I
the same
had.
time though,
Oh,
too.
yeah, at the same time, it's
Not
crazy. Yeah.
at the same time, one or two, but you really had all of your big guys outside the service academies all left.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No. North Texas, they got a new one, Neil Brown coming in.
yeah,
Former West Virginia coach there.
yeah.
So
So
yeah, so you look at a place like Navy or UTSA with Jeff Traylor still there, and his name is always comes up in these, coaching
all right.
searches too. So the other thing I had mine is like, is this the year of the academies? We flirted with it past couple years
Yeah,
of the an Army Navy uh championship game.
yeah,
And because when they actually play the Army Navy game, it does not count as a conference game. They
right,
decided to keep that non-conference, just
yeah.
but now it is going to be they could play a conference game by making the championship, and it's a real possibility this year.
It really is because I don't know is Navy did Navy's their quarterback he graduated didn't he? Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe so, yeah. But they still have, yeah, Horvath's gone, Blake Horvath, but they have a lot of starters coming back. I think Army does too. I think both of them have most of the offense coming back.
no,
Um, so yeah, and I think they have a decent schedule. I think Navy probably has the easiest schedule in the league, and I think Army's got a couple breaks on there too. So could
the
be, and
biggest
then
they
yeah,
always run into both usually run into Notre Dame at some point, and that's the one downfall.
yeah. As far as their playoff chances, yeah, that's where. But other than that, yeah, Navy's schedule, that Notre Dame game is the only one there that's um
The
like a
crazy thing
major.
is, was it 2 years ago, and both of them like, oh, this is maybe they catch Notre Dame. They're playing so great, and then Notre Dame
And
does
they,
not
yeah, it was a couple
execute.
years ago. Notre Dame worked them both.
Or both of them.
Um,
Seem like back to back weeks.
yeah, isn't that when Notre Dame and Army played in Yankee Stadium or something too?
Yeah. So it seemed
Yeah.
like it was there. Oh man, this is good, crazy. They no, not a
Uh,
chance.
Army avoids them this year. They do not have a big
They don't.
out of conference opponent. Oh wow, yeah, that's their out of conference is Bryant, La Tech,
Hmm.
Air Force. Mm. Oh man, watch out for the Black Knights.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice schedule.
Yeah,
Out of conference,
mm,
yeah. In conference, that Americans always tough, but yeah,
yeah,
out of conference, that's something.
yeah. You got anything else in the American that
No,
interests you? Something that jumps out?
I think we covered it pretty well.
All right, yeah. Let's go to the Pac-12 now. It's back. It is not the same.
Not,
The first thing that jumps out at you is just that every school in the conference is a state. Uh, just
yeah,
really weird. But
it's funny.
other than that, the only remnants of the old Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-8 is Washington State and Oregon State. And Oregon State might be the worst team in the league this year. Washington State's probably okay. I don't think either of them really threaten at top. So what I had was just like, what's going to be the new identity of this conference? Is it conferences usually kind of carving out identity for themselves? What's the new Pac-12 going to be? It's just see what happens there. And then, the other thing I just had was, is it Boise or bust?
Yeah, I mean, that might be something. I mean, Boise, the new team moving from Mountain West. I don't know what the benefit of moving from the non-West to the Pac-12 is. I don't
Mm-mm.
know if that really helps you or not. Um, the other thing there, yeah, you would think Boise State should come in and be fine and do what they do.
Yeah.
Um, and then, of course, my biggest thing is, the pride thing, I don't care. The Mountain West and the Pac 12, they have to come together, figure things out,
Hmm.
be a, that's your best chance to be the best conference out of the group of six. I mean, if you have, there's still good teams in the Mountain West, of course.
Hmm.
12, has some teams that we don't know a lot about, but they much better together than apart. They got to figure that out. Put egos aside. Call
Hmm.
yourself the Pac West, the Mountain 12. I don't know, but figure it out. Come together. I don't.
Yeah, I always thought the Pac West, was perfectly fine. Yeah, it should have just Oregon State, Washington State should have just joined from the
Yeah,
get go. I know they were extended the opportunity. Geographically it makes sense. I mean, I
yeah,
know they have their pride and like, oh, we were major conference teams. It's like, yeah, but and they kept it for the branding, but I'm like, what's the
people.
brand worth? If USC's not there, if Oregon's not there, if Washington's not there.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares. You don't have that affiliation with the
Mhm.
Rose Bowl anymore. Like, unfortunately, the Pac-12 is dead. The
Yeah.
old Pac-12 is dead. You still have the history, but it's dead. Unfortunately, that's just where we're at. I
Yeah,
mean, the reality
exactly.
is, you have to rebrand yourself. You have to make something new, and until they're better together, apart doesn't make sense for either conference. That's
Hmm.
my other thing with the Pac-12. Interesting enough, I guess their TV deals with USA Network
Hmm.
for whatever it's worth. I don't know how many eyes that'll put on it.
Hmm.
And their lead commentator is Ryan Leaf.
Oof, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder if that comes with a Paramount or not Paramount, a Peacock thing too. Uh,
yeah,
I don't know. That's interesting.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it would have made more sense if they brought back the whack, and the teams that used to be in that. It was, you're a little more West Coast there. That was your Boise, Nevada, Hawaii, San Jose State crowd there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. They figure it out. Tell Texas State to go back to the Sun Belt or Conference
Yeah.
USA or something, and then tell Northern Illinois that you're a MAC team. Go back to the MAC.
Yeah,
Why are you
that
here?
is
Yeah,
so weird. The
yeah.
Mountain West to Northern Illinois
It's
Mountain
never
West,
going to make sense. It's like it is
and
one of
UTEP
those.
and UTEP is also a Mountain West team now.
Yeah, UTEP's in there. That makes a little more sense to me.
I mean, they're far out. I mean, yeah, they're outskirts of
Yeah,
Texas. I mean, which is
yeah,
pretty
yeah. They're
far
close.
west.
They're close to New Mexico, New Mexico State. All that
Yeah,
kind of. Well, New Mexico
and it's
State's a Conference
and the
USA team,
fact
aren't they? Yeah.
and the fact that it's west enough that it's in the
Mhm.
Mountain Time Zone. El Paso is in the
Yeah,
Mountain
I
Time
am.
Zone.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I do custom conferences in like the game, I
Yeah,
usually moved UTEP and New Mexico State over. It
yeah,
made sense to me, but
yeah.
yeah,
Still weird.
like I said, tell Texas State and Northern Illinois to go back to where they came from, and you got a
Right.
16 team conference right there. It's fine. Do
Yeah,
divisions, 8 and 8, whatever. Like I said, it almost make more sense to bring back the whack, but or maybe one day, I don't know, maybe we'll have some crazy amnesty
yeah.
period and we'll get our shit together and go back to regional conferences and we can see the old Pac-12 return. But
Now I have heard talk now, and it was just on College Sports Radio on XM, and they're always talking about it. But there's always this talks about every other sport but football going back to regionalized things. 'Cause I don't think
yeah,
football, you can put that two base back in the
the tube, yeah.
as far as football. But the other sports, it makes perfect sense. Maybe you could pull basketball, but your Olympic style sports, I mean, or anything, baseball, even softball. I mean, some of these things. I mean, if you're going, you're going to LA to New Jersey, and then they expect you to be in class. You know,
Yeah,
make it
right.
really it's wild. It's unrealistic. It's crazy, and they
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they figure that part of it out because obviously football is making. I mean, outside of football and men's basketball, and I guess some women, realistically, the rest of the sports are negative.
hmm.
Yet they're the ones that are traveling the most.
Yeah,
You
exactly. And it takes a toll on you too. You're
the
a college
soccer,
kid. Yeah.
yeah,
You're a college kid. You got the stress of class. You're an athlete, so there's that added stress. You got such a full schedule, and then like, oh yeah, we got to track me on literally the other coast of the country.
right. Wow.
Like that's ridiculous.
I mean,
But
I'm sure sometimes you think it's cool, in the middle of the winter you're going to LA and stuff, but
mhm.
on the in basketball or something like that. But yep, but overall, they should definitely figure that out region-wise. I guess.
Well, yeah,
While
and
we're on it, about the
go
Mountain
ahead.
West. Now, Sam, we could talk about the Mountain West and be kind of linked with the Pac-12 in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, that's perfect. What do you have for the Mountain West?
Just interesting to see what North Dakota State moving up to the
Hmm.
finally to the
Hmm.
FBS level. Whether
Yep.
do they take over the Mountain West? I mean,
Hmm.
obviously the most dominant team in FCS. All the titles and all the wins that they've had over FBS teams. I mean, you name it, they beat them. And, middle of the pack teams. So do they come and immediately take over the Mountain West? We shall see.
Hmm.
Other interesting thing. Always interesting anywhere he goes, especially when there's not as much pressure on him. I'm still high on Dan Mullen to UNLV.
Hmm.
Um, he brought in another quarterback this year, Jackson Arnold, a man
Yeah,
that one of the most highly anticipated guys in OU history. Didn't work out well. Kind of a tough situation when freshman year with all the injuries.
yeah,
Last year was dumpster fire at Auburn.
yeah.
But it's partly
Not
him. It's
all his
partly where
fault,
he's
man.
been.
Yeah.
Not all his fault. You would have to think everybody's going to figure out is Dan Mullen.
I'd bet say he is the classic case of a kid that didn't break it, in the big league, but then goes to a little bit of a smaller league and figures it out, and then plays up to his potential, but against lesser competition.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm, excuse me, and has a monster year. Like just puts up
absolutely.
so many stats, and yeah, in that offense, he absolutely can. A battering ram type of runner. Yeah, I agree with you. I had the North Dakota State thing too, and I tied it into my other one, which was just who fills the Boise vacuum. Boise has ran this
Okay.
league for a while
Yeah.
now, and they're
Come on.
gone. Is it Dan Mullen, UNLV, who have such a lot of talent on that team? Like you said, Jackson Arnold bringing in former 5 stars. Um, Someone like New Mexico, they're a talented team. Hawaii, Timmy Chang's got
I'm
the
going.
Bows playing
Right.
tough again. If they can figure out how to win on the road, that's
Yeah,
uh, always a good team. Teams that have been up, newcomers. How does UTEP do? How does Northern Illinois do? Um,
that traveling's got to be
yeah,
rough for
that's
you.
because yeah. Who's the
Like,
closest team to them? Is it? I guess North Dakota State. Uh,
it's crazy to think about.
yeah. Other than that,
Considering
man, I
normal avoided them
guess. I guess other than that
nowhere
would be either
close.
be Wyoming or Air Force, I guess. Maybe New Mexico.
Wow,
Ooh,
wow,
yeah,
that's
that's
crazy. And they're a mid-major team with mid-major money, and
mhm.
that's a lot of. And then obviously, if you're if you're a big,
Might have lost you there, buddy.
I hit the wrong damn button. Try, I was trying to add a screen and I clicked out of the whole thing. My goodness. But what I was trying to say, I was talking about Northern Illinois. I mean, if you've been part of the MAC forever, I mean, you have certain rivalries. Probably your fans have certain games that they're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you interested when these other teams come to town that you really probably have no
Mm-hmm.
interest in seeing, I, other than maybe, I mean, if North Dakota State comes to town, that might be cool. But how excited are you as a Northern Illinois football fan? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
No,
Like, do you have,
when I think of these realignment scenarios and think about the fans and stuff, I always think back. I think it was a Reddit post I saw, and someone proposed a question about stuff like this, realignment, and a West Virginia fan answered, and it was like, man, it was kind of cool at first, new teams, you got to see all these, like, oh, Texas is here, oh, Oklahoma came in, when they joined the Big 12, and
Mhm.
then but he was like, honestly, after like the initial wave, the first one or two seasons, he's like, it was like, okay, now what? Because like you're not getting excited for 3-8 Oklahoma State to come to town. There's no history there. If you're playing
Right.
Pitt and it's 3-8, that's your rivalry. If you're playing Syracuse, Boston College,
Sports
Virginia,
TV.
Maryland, Virginia Tech, teams in your area.
Yeah.
Um, he's
So,
like, that's the
I'm
special
interested.
thing about college football is that those old rivalries, they even if you're not having a great season, like they mean something, and that's what we're killing with realignment. Um, so yeah, that's all I got in the Mountain West. You want to move on, or you got anything else?
No, no, that was pretty much it for
Yeah,
me.
let's bounce to the Sun Belt now, the Fun Belt. Always a good small conference. Uh, New member this year, La Tech, right? Their first year.
Nope.
Um, yeah, first year back. I think. No,
Ah,
no, I don't know if were they ever Sun Belt. I don't think so. They were whack way back in the day.
yeah.
I remember that when when old Tim Rattay and La Tech upset Alabama,
No, yeah.
late '90s. Yeah, they were a whack team if I remember right. Um, yeah, the big story I had was Billy Napier, James Madison. Can he come in and continue the success of the
Yeah.
coaches
All right.
before him? Kurt Signetti and Bob Chesney.
Bob Chesney.
Yeah,
Where's he at? UCLA now, right?
yeah, he went to UCLA. Um, Can Billy Napier come in and have that success? Can coming back to the Sun Belt, of course, former Louisiana coach,
Yeah.
can that get him back on track after crashing out at Florida, just never being able to really
Um,
take that program back to the level they want to be to?
right.
Can he come back in and he was a good coach? And is it still there? And can he do it at a program like JMU?
Yeah. I mean, you would think he could. I mean, obviously, like he's had success. You know, he was successful before he went to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of Florida's probably on him. Some of it's also just the situation Florida's in. You
Yeah.
know, I think some of the things in Florida still are very unrealistic. You know, they've gone down a level. They're not the same. Um, but yeah, I mean, you still got to win there. They just ran its course. It didn't end well. You know, it probably got last season. Excuse me. Maybe he shouldn't have. You know, maybe they still should have got rid of him after the end of the 24 season. You know, they kind of went on a winning streak, but you can kind of tell
Mm-hmm.
still shaky ground. Maybe move on then. I don't know. You know, maybe it's hard to do at that point. But yeah, I mean, if but the thing is, if he went somewhere where there's expectations, I mean, the expectations are there. I mean, they've
Mm-hmm.
had two fantastic runs in a row there. Um, you know, including a playoff berth this past year. So I mean, obviously the expectations are high. Um, you know, if he doesn't get them to the playoff this year, you know, are they still competitive? You know, are they 10-2, or what? You know, what does the
Mm-hmm.
record look like? That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. What did you have something else?
Yeah, the
You
other
want?
team I'm interested. They had a hell of a year last year. Was Old Dominion. and they're
Yeah,
replacing.
ODU. Yeah.
They had a great offense last year, but they're replacing a lot of their offense. I think their quarterback went to Wisconsin.
Hmm.
Running back went. Uh, so they're replacing a lot of parts there. So just interesting to see, if it is still James Madison Conference, who's their biggest, I guess their biggest block, or who can give them the biggest competition. Old Dominion was it seemed like they were, on that pathway, but replacing a lot of people, and that's the biggest thing, with these group of six programs is, unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of always been there, but even more so now. You have a hell of a year, 1 or 2 years.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, there's no way they can keep these guys. They're
Yeah.
the SEC or the Big Ten comes calling, and they got $1 million. Not only, at one point maybe it was easier because, hey, I mean, I'm gonna start here. People know who I am. I can stay. And now on top of that, legally, the SEC or the Big Ten program can give you $1 million on top of coming to the big
Hmm.
time. Uh, well, I mean, it's almost impossible to say no.
Yeah.
Players, so it's
Um,
tough for these.
yeah. No. Yeah. It's that's the new name of the game for the little guys is you're going to lose your stars and you just hope you find new ones and you
Coaches.
become. Yeah, it's kind of like small clubs in European soccer or something, where maybe every once in a while they might make a run and uh, threaten the big boys, but they're mostly there to, you got to have your right expectations. You got to decide what's a great year for you. And you got to understand at some point your homegrown star is going to leave.
He's gonna
Um,
leave.
yeah,
Sure.
because some other team's just going to, the price is going to be too high.
Right.
Um, yeah, I have, ODU is a good one to watch. App State, too. Rare back to back losing seasons for them. I think they've only had like 4 losing seasons in the past 40 years or so. Very consistent winning program. Interested to see if they get back on track
So,
this year. They get, JMU's at home, ODU's at home. So um, they do have to go to rival Georgia Southern. But
I mean,
yeah, I'm
Boone
just
is a
interested.
great place.
Yeah, it is. Shout out to co-founder Caleb Johnson. He's a professor there at Boone and at Appalachian State. But yeah, it's a beautiful play. I'd love to go see a game there one day. Keep telling him I've got to get out there. He's got to get me to a game. But
Middle of nowhere.
yeah, I've been to Asheville before, but still, it's still uh, I think about an hour from Boone. I think, but beautiful stadium. If you've ever seen that overhead shot of it, just buried in the woods there in the
Amazing.
mountains.
It's amazing.
Um, so yeah, I'm interested to see them if they can get back on track. And same thing with Coastal Carolina. They've
Yeah.
had a few down years after being one of the conference's top teams.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. You got anything else for the Fun Belt?
That was kind of it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the MAC. I'm still wait 1, 2, 3,
We
4,
still have
5.
Conference USA, the Met. I
That's the
think
one. I
that's
was like, I'm missing one here. Oh, it's on the next page of my notes. That's why, TD.
yeah.
Anyway, let's go to the MAC. For the MAC, I got that it's a dart throw conference. It's kind of just like I have no idea how to read it. You kind of know who the top teams were. Western Michigan, Miami, they're always in the mix. Toledo's always in the mix.
Leaders always in the
Um,
mix. Yeah.
Ohio, the Bobcats, but then which one comes out on top? No idea. There always seems to be an out of nowhere team in the
Yeah.
MAC. Don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Which makes it fun to watch. A little action. Of course, it was a fun thing for us when we were in school to watch on those Tuesday, Wednesday games. Or I guess they didn't do Tuesday back then, but definitely Wednesday, Thursday games.
Right.
Big Ben and Omar Jacobs at Bowling Green. A lot of great quarterbacks came through that conference back in the day.
And they really did.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Really.
that's what I had. Just it's the fun nature of there being a good top tier, but having no idea really who's going to win the conference. From week to week, it makes it fun, and of course, it's weird. with Sacramento State joining, just so desperate to join.
So desperate to get into the FBS rank. So
Yeah.
shout out to them for making it. But yeah,
But
I mean,
ridiculous deal. It's something like they're paying for all the opposing teams like travel cost. They're not taking TV money or taking discount for like 4 years. I don't know. It's really crazy. Like how much they're going to pay just to get in the FBS at like, why not just start it as an independent or try to get into a more geographically, the Mountain West or the Pac-12. Yeah, it's just weird.
did they not? I mean, did they try? I wondered, did they try that and they got shot down, or are they trying? And I get it from the Pac-12 or Mountain West perspective. They're like, hey, we're already low on the totem pole, and you're the new guy. It's just not.
Yeah, it
Financial.
makes me wonder if they're just there until they can get something
Yeah,
better for them. But yeah,
obviously it's like Northern Illinois and Sacramento State should switch.
yeah, they really should.
I mean, obviously, but like you said, I mean, it's kind of the same teams. I mean, Western Michigan, Miami of Ohio, but I had Toledo, just the Bobcats, Ohio itself. I think former Alabama player Lance Taylor there, Western Michigan. I think one of the next big name coaches, if he, won the MAC last year, if they win another MAC, I think maybe this year or a couple years, someone's going to come calling looking for him
Yeah.
as a big name there. So, but always a fun conference. I'm glad that they still have the Tuesday, Wednesday night games because honestly, I mean, who doesn't want to watch some football midweek? College football, count me in every time.
Right.
And then it gives them the I guess their fun and their moment in the sun. I mean, they're really the only thing going usually those nights. So people are gonna put on eyes on a game that they probably never would any other time. So
yeah, love a little midweek action.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I really have, and they're always a tough one for me because I don't really follow them too closely to know. But yeah, let's move on to Conference USA here. If I can flip my notes around. There we go. Found them. What do you got for Conference USA?
Obviously, we talked about it a little bit. I mean, they lost UTEP to the Mountain West. They lost La Tech to the Sun Belt. I don't know how big. I don't know how that really affects the conference. Neither one. I don't think it's terrible losses. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I get for UTEP why you would think going to the Mountain West would be an upgrade from Conference USA. La Tech going to the Sun Belt. I mean, obviously they see the Sun Belt, James Madison. Maybe they're more up and coming, so maybe that's what they're looking at for that move. And then, really, I want to see, can Kennesaw State keep it going? Obviously, they were first year in the conference and they won the conference. I mean, story. Year before they were terrible. They come in the first year, win the conference. Other things to look at, Liberty was kind of down last year. How they look? Do they bounce back? And of course, then you have another team that has been successful, put some guys in the league as of recently. The Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky, usually a very solid team. What do they look like? I guess those are my kind of things to look at.
Yeah, no, a lot of similar stuff. Along with Kennesaw State, I had same thing. Like, can Delaware and Missouri State do again? Both went to bowls last year, kind of surprisingly, in their first year at the FBS level. Can they get back? Or even make a push? Liberty, yeah, like you said, or can they bounce back? Jamie Chadwell there used to be one of those names that was always kind of hot and then talks for a major conference job.
Yeah.
Can he get his name back in there? Can he get Liberty the Flames back going? And then I got Rich Rod at Jack State still. Or no, he's left now. He went back to West Virginia last year, of course. But what he built there, they were hosted the conference title game.
Well, and Charles was it?
Yeah.
Former, who is their coach now?
It's what is I just saw his name. I was just Charles Kelly, right?
Carlos
Yeah,
Kelly. Yep.
yeah.
He's been around the game many spots,
Hmm.
everywhere.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Defensive back at Auburn back in the day, actually. But yeah. Um, uh, yeah. Auburn. I think he wasn't he. I think he was on a Alabama staff at one point.
He's been on the Alabama staff. I know
Yeah.
he's been at Florida State.
Hmm.
He's one of those guys. He's been everywhere. He's been to the
Yeah.
SEC 3 times. He's been
Yeah,
to
but
ACC.
and just had them, Caden Creel, their quarterback, fun guy, kind of running a very similar offense to what Rich Rod ran. Not
Yeah,
quite, not exactly the same, but got some exciting players. Uh, DeAndre Johnson, Ronell Johnson at receiver.
hmm
Um, their team, I caught a couple of their games last year. They're fun. They begin the season at North Dakota State. They will welcome the Bison to the big league, so to say. Uh, yeah, and so they're just another one of these teams to keep an eye on in this conference for me. And then, like you said, yeah, up there in Western Kentucky, um, they're always up there, and they got Tyson Helton manning the sideline there, and then can Sam Houston do anything better? Just terrible.
golly,
Yeah.
so terrible,
Um,
so
But yeah,
bad.
another kind of balanced conference, all over the place geographically, and kind of you have your top tier, but it's hard to pick a winner, which always
It
makes it
is.
fun to watch.
Right. Like if Conference USA, they usually can give you some great games
Hmm.
throughout the season.
Yeah.
A lot of high scoring games, a lot of late, you know.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's a fun conference. I mean, if you're a college football head,
Hmm.
you'll watch some, but you know, for
Yeah.
you guys who just watch, Power Four football, man, I would say definitely check out some Conference USA football. I
Hmm.
think enjoy it.
Yeah.
A lot of entertainment.
Yeah, that finally does cover all of our small conferences. We never really know where to fit Independence in. I guess we usually talk about Notre Dame with the Big Ten or so.
You could do Big Ten or ACC with
It's
them.
ACC, yeah. UConn, of course, is the other independent. They would fit somewhere around the Conference USA, whatever mold.
That was that's what I forgot. I
Mm.
mean, I have to mention you mentioned UConn. What's his name? Left UConn, and where did he went
Jim
somewhere
Moore
in the
Jr. went to Colorado State. Kind of an odd move.
kind of a weird move there, but
Yeah.
maybe it gets Colorado State going because I mean they have a history. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while. I mean, for a while they were always in contention for whatever conference they were part of, whether it was the Mountain West or the WAC. But I mean, always a solid team in the late '90s, early 2000s. They had a run there where they were a great team, and uh, they're. But yeah, I mean, obviously Jim Moore Jr. did great things at Connecticut. I mean, he put them on the map somewhat. So we'll see what it. But yeah, that's one I forgot. I think.
No, yeah. UConn back-to-back non-win seasons, bringing in Jason Candle over from where is he at Toledo? Yeah.
Yeah,
So we know he can win and build a strong mid-major. So yeah, we'll see if UConn. I'm interested to see if they stay independent or if they get into like a Conference USA or American or something. Um, they were in the American for a while and
they
then
were,
got out because mainly driven by basketball to go back in the Big East for basketball. So
which makes sense.
yeah, which I mean, still not the old Big East, but uh,
Yeah, but
they were terrible in the American.
it was so weird when they were in the American.
Yeah, it wasn't
So
right. Yeah.
they're playing Wichita State and stuff. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so strange to see UConn there. Yeah, yeah, but you would have. I don't know. I would think it's hard for a school like UConn to stay independent for
Mhm.
football.
Yeah.
At some point, you need some help. You need a couple, even though this may not be as big money, but a little TV money is better than no money.
Yeah.
So I would think it might be easier to see what you can do. Get on football wise.
Mhm.
Then again, too, sometimes unfortunately, on the East Coast, the people who care about college football, I,
Mhm.
I don't know. So, I guess if you have a winning product, they'll show up. But overall, the NFL is king. College basketball is big, but yeah, college football
Mhm.
just not have the appeal to the East Coast that we know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's all I got for the Group of Six preview. Next week we'll do. I don't know. What do you want to do? ACC, Big 12.
We probably start with ACC.
And we'll do ACC. All right, start out in all alphabetical. The ACC with traditional Atlantic Coast teams like Stanford and Cal and SMU.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Coast to Coast Conference.
Yeah, yeah. If y'all remember from last year, what we do with our power conferences, we a little differently. We get basically divided into like three tiers. We have our contenders, our wild card teams, and then our basement teams. And so we kind of break them up. I'll throw some teams out there. We'll talk about each one, decide where they really belong, what tier, and then that's that. A little more in depth than this one. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I think
let's
the
see.
AC interesting.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, no.
I think it's a very, very interesting conference. As much as it's
Yeah,
much maligned and talked in a bad way when it comes to college football, I think they're on the
mhm.
up and up. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah. I think it'd definitely probably be, it's kind of a is it Miami and then who else conference? But yeah, we'll get into that next week.
absolutely.
Trying to think anything else from this week in sports. Of course, SEC Media Days kicking off. I guess the most notable thing today was that Greg Sankey said there's always a real possibility of the SEC splitting off. Um, and God, I just really do not want that. The SEC, Big Ten, whatever, even if it's the four major ones, I just don't want
No, it's not
this like
right.
weird minor league. That's all it would become, be an NFL minor league. And then they talk about, oh, you could see the big teams against each other all the time. But we've talked about this before, but once it stops being special after a while, and eventually someone's going to become the basement dweller, the bottom feeder there. It's just the law of nature. Someone has to eventually, someone's going to become the worst team in the league. Someone's going to become the perennial worst team in the league, and it's going to ruin those fan season. And what makes college sports and college football so special is the big guy versus little guy and these weird little rivalries you have. And so, yeah, hopefully that's just some bluff for better TV money or something to get their way. But we do not want to see the split off. And looks like we lost Greg again here, so I'll just try to keep talking here. But uh, and to me, a major problem with it too is that what's to stop the rest of the NCAA if say the SEC and Big Ten split off? What's to stop them from saying, all right, well then you're out of all your sports are out of the NCAA. What are you doing to your Olympic sport athletes there? Dreamed of uh, playing, winning NCAA titles, and now you got to create this new league, and you call it. What are you going to call it? And it's not as prestigious. It doesn't have the tradition, the story to it. You're not playing in the real Final Four anymore. So yeah, it's a bad road to go down, and it's a bunch of people doing it to line their pockets and screw the rest of us, which is not uncommon in this day and age. There he is.
Yeah, we had a power surge. I don't know.
Hmm.
We've been hot for like we've been over 100 for like 6 days, so I don't know. I guess it's been rough on the day.
Ooh,
Yeah,
damn.
it's hot up here. Today's our what's supposed to be our last day, but yeah, suppose this
Mm.
thing got power and then it kicked the internet. I was like, what the hell? Lights went out
Um,
for reset the internet. I was like, Jesus, not one thing, it's another.
mm. Yeah, I was just talking about SEC Media Days, what Greg
Um,
Sankey said about.
yeah, yeah, I don't like that. Um, I don't like the idea of the Power Four moving to super conferences and leaving everybody else out. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't like it. Obviously, some people do. I mean, I think at that point we might as well just not even have college football. You know, we might as well just say I don't know. Like I just don't see it fully transpiring. But
Well,
who knows?
what I said while you were gone too, like, uh, uh, what's to stop the rest of the schools, the NCAA, from kicking all your sports out, being like, all right, well, if you break away for football or basketball, then like your Olympic sports aren't welcome, and so none of you are, and then all of a sudden, like, you're not playing in the real Final Four, like, uh, your Olympic athletes aren't competing for NCAA against the best of the best, 'cause, Olympic sports are more spread out. So yeah, it's just it, it only helps a few people in the end. Was my point. It only helps the guys getting richer and not the fans or the athletes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it gets shot down. I mean, obviously, I mean, the big conferences are getting a lot of what they want anyway. When you think about it, I mean, they've gone to a 12-team playoff. Obviously, that's been for the big teams to get
Well,
more.
anyway, I mean that's pretty much the end of what we got to talk about this week. Anyway, baseball, the All Star game was there. It was nothing special.
The home run was awesome. I enjoyed that. I was
Yeah, the
that
Derby.
last,
Yeah.
last battle was amazing.
hmm
You know, we
Um.
thought Howard could actually be on the road after an awesome 11 shot performance there by the home team guy,
mhm.
and to go on. And the Philly fans are hilarious for stuff like that, just booing everybody. Um, I mean, it's only in Philly.
Right.
I've been at the home
Merciless.
run. Funny stuff though. But,
Yeah, other than that, Red Sox remain the hottest team in baseball.
yeah,
14 in a row now.
genius. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, no big NBA news. Still don't know where LeBron's going.
No, I think he's gonna sit on that for a while.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he's in no rush.
He has no motivate. I mean, really, what would be his motivation to do anything early? And plus,
Mm,
he likes a little drama and a little,
yeah,
yeah. So
but yeah, unless you got anything else, I think that does it for us.
yeah, no, I mean,
All right.
we've come out of a good sports time, but
Mm,
kind of the low period. But hey, we're in media days, and now that it's SEC media days, I consider that the start of the college football season technically.
yeah,
So, fall camps will start soon enough, and we'll get a little preseason action sooner than later, and camps will
mhm,
open up there. And hey,
yeah,
this the that's the beauty of the World Cup is the low is very short this summer.
yeah, exactly. And even with just baseball, what, like 10, 11 days, trade deadline. So you at least have some newsworthy stuff going on.
Absolutely, and plus we're in the
But
second half of the season when things start to matter. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially, this is always such an interesting stretch, that little stretch between the All-Star game and trade deadline, because so many teams that are kind of on the fence about which way their season is going to go. They could get on a little winning streak. I mean, look at the Red Sox. Actually, we just talked about them. They were like that, talking, trading a couple of their aces and stuff like
yeah,
that, just 2-3 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden,
now they're
all right,
getting back
yeah,
in contention for the East, unfortunately.
yeah. Now all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, maybe they'll actually be buyers in the trade market. So.
Yeah, I mean, 51 and 48, only six back out of
Mhm.
the and couple out of right there in the
Yeah.
wild card. So hey, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, folks, that does it for us. Next week we come back. We got our ACC preview. Like we said, we divide the teams into tiers. We look at the contenders, the wild cards, and then the basement teams. A little more in depth. Go team by team, pretty much. Yeah. As always, keep it done up real good out there, folks. Greg, buddy, I'll see you then.
Yep.
Thank you once again for listening, folks. As always, subscribe, rate, like us, do whatever your chosen podcast platform asks you to do. Tell your friends about us. Tell your rich friends about us, especially if any of them feel like sponsoring a podcast. You can check out all of the family of Alabama Take podcast at thealabamatake.com. You can also find a bunch of wonderful writings there from our lovely, talented roster of contributors. If you'd like to join that roster, shoot an email to thealabamatake@gmail.com. Blaine will get you set up. We're always looking for new voices here on the Alabama Take. You can check out Greg at Bama Hammer. He writes a lot about Alabama women's basketball there and other Alabama athletics. You can follow us on socials at Taken on Sports. Of course, drop that G. And as always, folks, keep it done up real good yourselves out there.